They say water is a blessing in South Sudan, but the people who live here have never experienced anything like this. Vast areas lie underwater after 2 years of unprecedented flooding, with crops and fields and homes for 200,000 covered by an inland sea. And the only way to visit this place is in vehicles that float.
We're following the road north in the direction of Sudan, but there's very little left of the highway. In fact, the whole area has been abandoned to human habitation. Some of the richest agricultural land in the country now used by a handful of fishermen.
The majority who lived here in Jonglei State have departed for higher ground, but there are a few stragglers left trying to hang on. They camp on newly formed islands and they fish their former fields.
Now it's only fishing only. Yeah. Majority of people, they migrate because of this flooding. Now we are few. But the only problem is now flooding. The water is keep on increasing.
It keeps increasing.
It keeps on increasing. This is the only problem we are facing here.
The floodwaters have spread inland from the White Nile. It burst its banks after record rainfall in Central Africa. And last year's rainy season made the situation worse. The UN is trying to restore an aging dike, but the earthworks have been destroyed in dozens of places.
There's 1,500 young men working on the 42 breaches that we're fixing currently.
This is Matthew Hollingworth from the World Food Programme.
I mean, we are at the beginning of one of the largest wetlands in South Sudan anyway, the Sud. But it has never looked like this. All of this area of South Sudan has changed on the map. So they've lost vast stretches of land, and they've lost areas of land where people were living and farming before.
This is a massive job on a rudimentary structure that's 93 kilometres long. And most of the work is done by hand.
Why do you need to do this?
We need to protect our territory. This is our territory.
Okay.
And the work is now, the water is beyond our control.
The people now battling to save their homes don't hold climate change responsible for this. Most think the floods are part of God's plan. But a government minister takes a different view.
It is when you have given up of thinking scientifically, that's where you will say it's God. But to us, we say it is a global warming. I remember in 1960, 66, 67, we used to walk here from Bor on foot. And this was, now it is a different territory now.
You couldn't
I
walk
can't
that
believe
distance.
it. I can't believe that was the soil that we used to walk, or the land that we used to walk when we were in elementary school in the 60s.
Wow.
It has totally changed.
The people who grew cereals and raised animals have gone. Those who remain eat water lilies and fish in a new world overwhelmed by water. John Sparks, Sky News in Bor, South Sudan.